Are we alive?
We're live,
Yes.
yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday night OWCP chats with Chris and Jeannie.
We're
I
live
don't
over
even.
there. We're live over there. So if you see us looking around, we've got multiple
We
screens.
got Instagram up here. We got Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn up here. And cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Okay, we're just going to wait a few secs for some folks to hop on. In the meantime, go ahead and share for the one person that's on. Share.
One person over there, three over here. Here we go.
Oh,
Hey.
oh. All right. While you guys are sharing, I'm gonna click. What the heck? It won't let me share. There we go. Group. Share, 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 share.
So I know it's overplayed the word share on social media, but we do that because we need to be able to help more people. And the only people that can't be helped by us are people that haven't heard us yet. So if you let your friends know that we do this, we do it every Wednesday night. If you're new here, we do it Wednesday nights, and we're always talking about OWCP. We usually have topics like we do tonight, but we're always here to answer whatever questions that you may have. If you have problems tonight, you should not have them again tomorrow.
All right. Hello, everybody on Instagram. We have FIC Norwood on Instagram. Hey, guys.
Hey,
Who else do we have? Sorry, I got to turn my head. Oh, Victor Sanchez. Hola on
what's up, Victor?
Instagram. We have Kevin Andrew from our FIC Cleveland office. And he said, call him. Kevin is the guy that wants you to call him at 2 a.m. in the morning. Have you seen him? He's like super muscular. And girls, give Kevin a call. We have Dr. Steflik on from our FIC of Jacksonville
And
and
Daytona Beach.
Daytona Beach.
Yeah,
So he's got both clinics going.
these are both new offices. He's just so fired up. He went ahead and pretty much did both at the same time.
Yes.
So if you're in the Daytona Beach area or Jacksonville, we got you covered.
Frank, good evening. Frank is always such a great supporter
What's up,
on
Frank?
our Facebook. Thank you, Frank, for always being there and supporting us. All right. I'm going to go ahead and continue to share on my other page. In the meantime, you guys need to share too. Um, Tonight, we're going to be talking about two things. A lot of people are asking, and I know you're new. A lot of people are new, which welcome.
Glad
Um,
to have you.
we teach federal work comp. We do trainings. What else do we do for them?
Well, we also have doctors.
Yes.
So this logo above us, Federal Injury Centers, we have a franchise that's dedicated to helping injured federal employees get their claims accepted, get better, and get back to work.
Yes.
And we are really, really good at it. I would say the best in the world. So if you're somebody that needs that help, check us out at federalinjurycenters.com. At the very top, there's a locations tab. Click it. Let me give you a tip. You can save a lot of time by not calling the 877 number to ask if we have a location near you.
Because we do.
We
Probably.
probably do. So check that tab. And if you don't see it listed there, then we don't have any office that's either available at all or ready with training being completed. So as soon as doctors' training is complete, we list them on the website. We've got more coming.
Yeah. Okay. So tonight we're talking about two things. And because we're saying about the new folks that come on here, you've asked, why don't we ever talk about what do you do when you first get into a federal on the job injury? So we do talk about it, but because you're new, you probably don't see it. Always remember all of our lives, we never delete them. You can find them on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. We got to get Chris set up again with his TikTok. So we're going to have that handled. Dr. Bressler in Homestead, Florida, FIC of Homestead. Those of you that are down in that area, what is
Or
that?
in the Keys.
In the Keys.
Yeah.
Dr. Bressler is there to help you guys. Um, what else was I going to say? Okay, a lot of you are asking me about this flyer. Even our offices. The flyer, I'm getting it tomorrow. We had to just make a quick adjustment to it today. It wasn't anybody's fault but us.
Well, it was mostly my fault. And that Zoom link that was on the original one is no good. So don't use it.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. But there's a new one coming on the new flyer, even with a QR code. And everyone will be able to print that out and take it to your workstations, post it in your break rooms, go put it in your union halls, just wherever you want to put those. We encourage you to do so. I want to have a million people watching, but I'll settle for 100,000. I want this to be the biggest, most important training on OWCP that's ever been given, and I'm excited to do it. Lots of you are always, not always, but lots of you complain or ask, why don't you ever come and teach at my union? Well, the bottom line is you guys all have OWCP reps at your unions, and many of them like to do the training themselves. I don't have any ill feelings about that, but it's the reason. And so when we're not invited, that's probably why. It's not that, we're enemies with the unions. We love the unions for the most part. I think they love us too. But they have a way of doing things the way they do
Yeah.
things. And that's okay. I do too. And so you're going to see how I do it. So this training that I typically do when I am live with the unions that have invited me, you're all going to get to experience that.
All right. So the flyer, I know I keep saying it, by the end of tomorrow it will be up on all of our social media pages, and it will be emailed to all of our doctors. And those of you that are going to any of our doctors offices, they will have copies in the office. Take as many as you want and pass them out to your friends. Again, like Chris said, you'll see a QR code. There is a little registration button because you will get more information once you register. We're not asking for much. So tonight, we're talking about how to file a claim when you first get injured on a job, and then I will finish up with third party accidents and who to call. So let's get started.
Yeah, it was interesting to me that Jeannie said that some folks were saying that we never talk about what to do when you get hurt. That's sort of like my bread and butter, like what you do when you get hurt. In fact, I just wrote a guide on the first 5 things you do after a work injury, and that'll be coming out. And many of you will see it in your social media feed, even. So you'll be able to download that. Obviously, like everything else we do, it's free.
Yeah.
And but I'm going to go through maybe more than 5 things tonight, but I think there's some really important things you have to know about when you get hurt at work. And most of this is going to be related to CA1s. A CA1 is what you use to file an injury that happened in a single work shift, right? You bent over to pick up a package and you felt a pop in your back, or you stepped off a curb and your knee popped, or something like that, right? It happened now. So most of this will be related to that, but there may be something related to the CA2, and I'll point that out. A CA2 is something that happens over 2 or more shifts. It happens over a longer period of time than just one shift. So people make mistakes all the time when they get hurt with a CA1 claim, all the time, and they're almost always the same mistakes, and they're all totally avoidable. If you'd like to write these down, I encourage that because I think it's one of the most important things I can teach.
Yep.
The first thing I'll tell you is report your injury today. Immediately, right away, report it. People want to wait and see if it gets better, but I hope it gets better. Okay. But if it doesn't and you don't report it right away, you run the risk of losing the right to a Form CA-16 that pays your medical bills for 60 days. Does that sound important?
A little bit.
If not, you pay the bills out of your own pocket, unless you go to federal injury centers. We've never charged anybody anything ever. But anyways, let's get back on this. You lose your CA-16 rights if you wait more than a week. If you wait more than a month, you lose the right to continuation of pay, which can pay you up to 45 calendar days off. So you don't have to use your sick and annual leave. So reporting immediately now is a huge mistake people make. I call them the rub some dirt on it crowd. And that, let me just rub some dirt on it, see if it feels better. And it sometimes feels better, but it often does not. And then you lose 2 of your most important rights in OWCP:
Yeah.
the right to a CA-16 and the right to COP. So that's the first thing I would tell you. Report it immediately to your supervisor. The second thing I'll tell you is write a personal statement, a very detailed statement as to what happened. And don't just tell your story to someone. Write it down, and write it down as soon as possible after the injury, because you don't want to forget important details. So what we're going to do is you're going to write the date it happened, the time it happened, the location that it happened, who saw it, what happened, how it felt, and what you thought, what you smelt, what you heard.
What you smell.
I'm telling you, as much detail as you can put into this thing,
He's
you need
right.
to do it.
Yes.
The more detail, the better, because you're going to take this to your doctor and you're going to say, hey, doc, be sure you incorporate this into your report, because your chances of a claim getting approved go way up when you have better detail as to what happened to you. So that's the second thing. Write a great detailed statement and take it to your doctor. The third thing I'll tell you is pick your own doctor. Most people are tricked into thinking or lied to that they have to go to this urgent care or to some place that maybe your agency has some sort of wink wink deal with. Who knows?
Wink, wink deal.
But regardless, those places typically screw up cases from day one. Urgent cares will have nurse practitioners and PA who we love and we use in every single office we've got. But they do the work and they're very effective in their job, but they don't get a counter signature from a medical doctor. And so you're going to be denied. And, that's just one of many problems. And so, when you don't choose your own doctor, so you have a right to choose your own doctor. And the law is very clear about it. You have a right to choose. They can't get in the way of your right to choose. You can't be forced to go to a doctor that's employed by or in contract with your agency, VA. And the funny part is the law also states that your supervisor is required to tell you it's your right to choose your own doctor, which never
Yes.
happens. It's such a joke.
It is. It
But
really is.
that was the next thing. Pick your own doctor because only 14% of federal employees nationwide have accepted injury claims. Is that a scientifically accurate number? No, it's not scientific. But if you look at OSHA's work injury and illness statistics, all you got to do is divide numbers of accepted claims by numbers of total employees. It's pretty easy to do. And the last time I did it was 14%. At federal injury centers, it's 97%.
Yes, like Victor said, pick your own doctor. Don't pay attention to the USPS stupid visors.
Yeah. So my point in telling you that we kill it when it comes to getting claims accepted and the rest of the doctors in the country don't is to just illustrate to you, you've got to choose your own doctor. These urgent cares aren't getting your claims accepted. They don't even want to do the work. ERs don't get claims accepted. Orthopedic surgeons don't want to write reports. They want to do surgery. VA doctors are world-class doctors that are not trained in OWCP. And the list goes on. So you've just got to make sure that you're choosing a doctor that is trained in OWCP, but you don't have a lot of time. So you either got to get really good with Google or you come to federalinjurycenters.com and locate a doctor.
Yeah.
Just by the way, you don't have to choose any of our doctors. We don't care. We have them because you need them. You can go anywhere and you can still come here and we'll still help you.
Yeah.
But when your claim gets denied, you're coming to us anyways. So you might want to just consider calling us up front. So report immediately. Pick your own doctor. Be sure you get a CA-16. Okay. You need to be able to choose or you need to have a way to pay your bills. It is recommended that you go ahead and elect continuation of pay on your CA1 because the worst thing that can happen is if your claim's ultimately denied, they'll just take your sick and annual leave. Well, your only other option on the CA1 is to just give up willingly your sick and annual leave. Why would you do that? So elect COP. And I'm telling you, if you just and write your own your personal statement. So if you report immediately, you write your detailed statement, you demand a CA-16, you elect continuation of pay, and you choose your own doctor, you're off and running.
Yeah.
Those are such critical things. The last thing I will tell you is follow your doctor's orders. If your doctor says go back to work, go. If you stay home, you will not get paid because the doctor said you can work. And be in constant communication with your doctor.
Yes.
Let them know what struggles you're having if you are at work because the doctor can always write new restrictions on your CA-17. So that's a quick rundown summary. I'm happy to answer questions about it. But seriously, if you can just do those things and you don't remember anything else, your odds go way up of having success in OWCP.
Yeah. And we have Jason.
What's up, Jason?
He said, "Hey everyone, Jason from FIC Chicago. If you have an injury and in the Chicago area, give him a call. Look, he's giving you his number."
Yeah, I'll tell you, that Chicago office is really prolific in getting claims
Yes.
accepted. I usually will stop counting after like 200, 250 accepted claims because I know, okay,
They
this
keep
office has
going.
got it. They've got it. And I stopped counting a long time ago.
For Dr. Arcaleo's
Mhm.
office. Yeah.
They're very, very, very good at getting claims accepted in Chicago.
Yeah. So if anybody needs a federal doctor in the Chicago area, give Jason a call. He's got his number and he is the case manager there. That's Dr. Arcaleo. Really awesome guy.
Laura asked, when are we ever getting an office in Michigan? I cannot tell you how close we've been so many times to getting a doctor to do that. But ultimately, we can't make doctors join our franchise. It's like saying, going to a person saying, I know you like burgers. You are required to join McDonald's. Well, that's a joke, right? And like nobody's required to. We can't force doctors to join, but we really try. We do have an office in South Bend, Indiana, which is on the border of Michigan. and we've
probably on
got
the
one
other
in
side.
Cleveland. We've had people drive from certain spots in Michigan to go to our Cleveland office. So those are the two closest options we have right now, and we are working furiously to get more offices in all the locations around the country we don't have them.
And a shout out to our newest office that just came on last week, FIC of Dayton, Ohio.
Oh yeah,
So that's our newest one, ladies and gents.
and let me give you a little secret.
Oh.
Can I give the secret of who owns that one?
No.
Why? I think I will. They're going to find out when they go. So our partner Tom actually opened his own clinic.
Yes.
And so when you go to Dayton, Ohio, you're getting the arguably the number 2 expert in OWCP nationwide.
Tom Giampa.
Just kidding. He's every bit as good as I am, but that's his practice. So we're really proud of him for being able to get that open.
Congratulations.
So go check it out.
Yeah. We have Federal Injury Centers of Kansas City, Dr. Pearson's office.
What's
if anybody's in the Kansas City area, give them a call.
The fieriest woman you'll ever meet.
She's so cute. We have Federal Injury Centers of Greenville, South Carolina on.
Over there in the country, just crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. Getting claims accepted left and right. I stopped counting on theirs a long time ago, too.
We have FIC of McAllen, Texas on here.
All the way down at the southern border of Texas.
Yes. Is it all the way down there?
All the way down.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Is it by the ocean? Is that it by the ocean? I don't know. I don't know how Texas
Somebody
is.
skipped geography class.
Oh, Victor, see you guys in 21 days in Orlando, Florida for our APW seminar. So happy to have Chris Helms teaching. Yes, if you guys are part of the Florida APWU, on Friday, September 27th, Chris is doing his OWCP training. Come by our booth. A handful of our doctors in Florida will be there. They'll have brochures to pass out to anybody that's in that area, and answer any questions you have for them.
Yep.
We have Federal Injury Centers of Norwood. Hey,
what's up?
Let's see. Greenville says 280 approved cases. Way to go.
Greenville, South Carolina, just killing it.
In this little cute town, and they have that many cases. They are killing it.
Yep.
All right. What else? All these okay, so we're gonna go on. Are we moving on?
So let's answer. Do they have any questions?
No.
Anybody have questions about the 5 or 6 things on what you do after you get injured at work? I didn't say this one thing. You have 3 years to report your injury.
Correct.
If you wait 3 years, understand all of the benefits you're losing. Okay, it's really, really tough on you. You got to report right away. On a CA2 claim, you have 3 years from the date you were aware that it was work related.
Yes.
So you talk to your doctor. The doctor says, I'm pretty sure this happened at work. You now have 3 years, but report immediately, right away. And the last thing I'll say is to file your CA1 or CA2, you go to the internet now. It's not on paper. So you go to ecomp.dol.gov, and then you create an account, which is super simple. It's only 2 screens with all the information that you have memorized already, like your social, your address, and your phone number. And then once you do that, you just click the CA1 or CA2 button, and you go to town filling it out right there.
Yeah. So let's get into third-party accidents.
So third-party injury is like a car wreck. And the last that I checked with Eric Blowers, he said that nationwide, letter carriers alone have 26,000 car wrecks on the job.
Yes.
And when you get in a car wreck on the job, that is a CA1 claim. So you treat it just like any other CA1. That's what it is. So I don't want to steal her thunder. Nobody.
There's no thunder. Actually, there is thunder outside.
Yeah, nobody. I mean, nobody. Not in our company. Nobody in any doctor's office around the country has more experience with personal injury and auto accidents than she does. So she used to work for a very prolific personal injury lawyer in Florida, and she knows the ins and outs of what happens in car wrecks. But she's going to tell you what not to do and what to do when that inevitably happens 26,000 times a year for letter carriers, not to mention law enforcement who are driving cars and the truck drivers. Truck drivers are getting into accidents. We found out that who are we just talking to, and they drive the mine, coal, and safety people are driving.
Yeah.
Like whoever knew they were driving. I didn't know.
So anybody that's driving a government vehicle
or just driving at work, for work, you're going to be covered under OWCP if you get in an accident and you're hurt.
Right. So let's get into this. This is really targeting USPS workers, but it also applies for anybody in AFGE and our new group, the FLEOA. I just love saying that.
I do too.
It's just different. 130,000 of you guys out there.
Federal Law Enforcement Officers
Yes.
Association.
So don't think this is just for USPS. Again,
It's everybody.
it's everybody that's driving a work vehicle to do your job.
Yep.
So the first thing you need to do, call 911.
First thing, don't call us first.
Don't call us. Call 911. Take care of yourself. Whether it is a minor accident or a major accident.
As we told our son, don't call your mother first.
Yeah, my thing is.
You just gotta tighten it up.
Where do you do that?
You keep talking.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, and everybody forgets these little things, but I'm telling you, if you do these little things, it's going to make a big difference. Take pictures of the other person's driver's license. Don't wait for the cops to come to write it down on the police report. I'm telling you, take a picture of their driver's license. Take a picture of their insurance card. If they tell you they do not have insurance, make sure you get their driver's license and take a picture of their license plate. I'm telling you, it makes a world of difference getting those little things.
So taking a picture of the driver's license, the license plate, and their insurance card?
Correct.
3 pictures for sure,
Yes.
not to mention the other pictures.
So now what you're going to do is you're going to take a picture of your entire car. Stand back, take a picture of your entire car, all 4 sides, no matter what.
LLB, whatever you're driving.
Whatever you're driving.
Yeah.
Then take a picture of the other person's car, all 4 sides. And then you can zoom in on the areas that was damaged. I'm telling you, when you have this, the insurance companies love you, and especially the federal attorneys. Okay. We're going to get to that.
And you're going to need them.
Number 2, personal injury is a little different from federal work comp, meaning you only have 2 years to file your claim for this. That's it. After 2 years, the limits are gone. You cannot go back. You cannot do anything with it. It's super hard. And as Eric said, you really can't do anything. Your limit has passed for whatever it is, 2 years.
So let me explain why she mentioned that. You have 3 years to file an OWCP injury claim, okay? And that doesn't go away no matter what. But what's going to happen if you're in a third-party accident, you're in a car wreck on the job, for example, you're going to get a letter from OWCP stating that you are required to pursue the third party. In other words, file a lawsuit. And what she's saying is that after 2 years in personal injury law, you won't be able to.
Right.
But you will very smartly do it today. You will not wait 2 years because you're not going to rub some dirt on it and see what happens.
All right.
Because you love your federal benefits and don't want to give them away by waiting to see if you're going to feel okay in a week.
This is the most number 1 important one.
Most number 1.
Most number 1 important one.
There's usually more than one number ones, but this one is the most of all the number ones. This one's the most number 1.
Do not, I repeat, do not call your state, local PI attorney.
Or in other words, don't look up at the billboard on the corner of the road and go, "Oh, look, a lawyer," and call them. Do not do that.
And we have all of our doctors on here, and I'm saying that you don't want the local PI guys doing this. I'm telling you, it screws it up. And Eric has said it numerous times. It's harder when you get a local PI attorney and then you have to turn it into a federal case. Why do they have to turn it into a federal case?
Well, you're required to. You were hurt at work as a federal employee. It is a federal case, but personal injury lawyers, the best personal injury lawyers in the world are not trained or skilled in any way at OWCP. So what they're going to do is very effectively settle your case, get a huge settlement, take a third of it goes someplace else, and you get a little piece of it if anything is left. And but then it's over. That's it. As soon as there's a settlement, it's over. And remind me, I'm going to talk about not spending that money, but I don't want to get in. It's over. But when you go the OWCP route, it's never over. You have lifetime benefits. Okay, so that's super important. Don't call a personal injury lawyer. Please do not do that to yourself.
Yeah, don't.
So who should they call?
So we have 2 choices: Eric Blowers and Carlos Zaldivar. Eric is in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Carlos is in the Miami area. And it doesn't matter what state you are in.
They could be in Alaska. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter. This is
it doesn't
federal.
matter. So I will be, as you guys have been seeing, I've been posting their numbers twice a week because a lot of you are just catching it. So right after this, because we're talking about third party, I will definitely repost the numbers. Number
Whatever number this is.
7. You have 14 days, and this still goes 14 days after you been in an accident that you need to go see your doctor. 14 days. And because it's federal, don't forget to go to a federal doctor.
Okay. But forget what she just said. You immediately get this done because waiting 10 days can cause you to lose COP.
Well, yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So yes, that's a rule, but just forget it now. Forget that she even said that. Go immediately to the doctor of your choice. Do everything now.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that they do have the 14 days. Okay. The last one. Follow your attorney's rules. I know your doctor's going to tell you one thing, you especially for federal. Pretend this is not local state PI. Whatever the attorney tells you to do, you must follow their rules. If the doctor tells you one thing and Eric or Carlos say something else, go with what Carlos and Eric are saying because they are the ones helping you get that, what is it, 20%? 20% that you guys
So
get.
now let me clean that up. She does not mean not to follow your doctor's medical opinions. But when it comes to the legal case, go with the lawyer. When it comes to the medical stuff, go with the doctor. I just want to make sure that that was clear.
And a lot of you will, go back and forth. Let the doctor and the attorneys handle it. Don't get in the middle of it. That's
Yep.
why you have an attorney.
That's right. It's their job.
All right. So this is a type of insurance you should carry. And here's the thing, and all of our doctors on here know this. A lot of you say, "Oh, I'm fully covered. I'm fully covered." No, you're not. You just got the basic and you did not opt for uninsured, underinsured motorist. You did not opt for it. A lot of the only insurance I know that actually opts and puts it in there is USAA. I know because we had it before. So that's the only insurance. But when you go and you tell the insurance company that you want full coverage, if you don't tell them you want uninsured motorist, they are not giving it to you. Yes, it's going to cost you a little bit more money. Please get it because, as people in Florida know, half the people here don't have insurance. They do a hit and run and then you're screwed. So if you have the uninsured motorist, at least you're covered.
Don't get yourself screwed.
Don't. So
That's
these
the
are the
message.
things you should and must have. This is according to Mr. Eric Blowers. Uninsured motorist, underinsured, same thing. Okay. The cheapest one you should get is that's a 1020 policy. But I know for USPS, it's saying that you should at least have 100,000 to 300,000, depending on what you are driving. Okay. And we're going to get to that. You should have bodily injury, and you should have property damage liability, especially those rural carriers that are driving their own vehicles.
You may want to come back and watch this portion again because this is, even for me, and I've been in this world a long time too, confusing.
Yeah. You should get comprehensive coverage because it protects your car from disasters. As you all know, there's hurricanes, snowstorms, vandalism, animals, and theft because a lot of the rural carriers are out in the country and you're seeing goats. And goats love to ram your car.
I had no idea we were going to go that direction.
Yeah, but I'm
talk
just
about
telling you.
goats.
So,
That's
but
funny.
it's the country.
That's so funny.
And it doesn't. There's random animals. Hey, you could be running over an alligator for
There-
all we know in Florida.
There's goats, people. Look, there's goats. Just look out. They got
All
goats.
right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here's what I wrote down.
You know, she didn't tell me any of these notes before we started. And if you're new here, I'll tell you what the rest of everyone knows is I normally do all the talking. But tonight I was like, you know what? She knows everything there is to know about personal injury. And now we're talking about goats.
Look, see, Emmy said goats.
So we're talking about goats. I didn't check the notes.
I'm telling rural carriers. Are there any rural carriers on here? You know what I'm talking about.
Don't agree with
and
her.
You know I'm right.
And now Maria's
seen
saying
this.
there's also bears. Okay, look.
That's true. The bears in New York.
Bears, goats, and alligators. All right, moving on. Bears, goats, and alligators.
All right.
Watch out for the bears, goats, and alligators.
Now, so this is a thing with a lot of you. You wind up using your personal insurance make sure you have some sort of commercial insurance. If you use your personal insurance for work, your coverage may not always provide adequate coverage. So, if you are a rural carrier, or I mean, I don't think letter carriers drive their own
No,
cars,
they
but
don't.
I'm just saying, whoever drives their own car, let them know, this is what I do for a living. I would like the extra coverage.
And now,
Especially, oh, cows in
and now we have
Texas.
cows.
Cows in Texas. It's right. I didn't even think of Texas.
Anybody ever heard of fences? People.
Wait, and then there's Utah, elk and deer.
Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you, this happens, and
And
you guys
moose.
know this happens.
And moose.
And chipmunks in Ohio.
All right. Okay, we're off the rails officially.
I had geese attacking the tires of the male Jeep LLV few times. Oh my gosh!
You can't
see?
sue geese, goats, cows, alligators, or
But
chipmunks. Okay, so
what my
those are
point
not third-party
is,
injuries.
what my point is, you should get the comprehensive coverage because of these things, especially if it's in your own
Get
vehicle.
the comprehensive coverage because of the goats.
This went from PI to animal.
It
PI.
went from OWCP to PI to the National Geographic.
So again, remember, and this goes for everybody. And like, I don't even know if Chris knew this. I always, I mean, working for a PI attorney, yeah, you get uninsured motorist. So many times I've seen so many people have nothing. They call, they say they got into an accident, and then what happens? That person has no insurance whatsoever. I don't even know how they get away with that. Second, I don't have any uninsured motorists because I just didn't know. And I'm telling you right now, besides USAA, these insurance companies don't tell you to get uninsured motorists. It is a little bit more, and that's why a lot of people complain they hate insurance, but it does protect you.
All right, so let me just pause and say there's also deer. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Stress this one. Make sure if you're driving your personal vehicle for work that your insurance policy, I know you said this, your insurance policy covers you in accidents that happen on the job. It's not automatic. Okay. So make sure it does, you do have that coverage. If you don't, I don't know why you're driving your car, because I think the accident 26,000 times a year is a clue.
Yeah.
So be very careful with that. And there was something else I was going to say, and I think it's so important. And I don't remember what it was because I didn't want you to forget something. And so now I did it. I'm going to interrupt you, Ron. Remember. Go ahead.
So after the live, I'll go in on chats on the post, and I will, everything that I just said, what you should have for your coverage, I'm going to list it for you. And again, and I will also put Eric Blowers and Carlos Zaldivar's phone number on there. Again, if you get all of these pictures and these license plates and everything that I've listed and said before, you'll be okay. Like if Carlos or Eric asks you, "Hey, do you have pictures?" and they will, give it to them.
I remembered.
Okay, go for it.
This is actually super important. If I would have forgotten, I would have been doing you a huge disservice. All right. So, for those of you that already made the mistake of hiring a personal injury lawyer, not an OWCP lawyer, it's not necessarily the end of the world. Okay. But it will be if you do what someone else that we know of did, and that's get your settlement money and spend it. When you get your settlement money,
Oh, yeah.
when you get your settlement money, OWCP by law is entitled to 80% of it. They are entitled to 80%. And the other thing that your personal injury lawyer won't know is that they need permission from OWCP to settle the case. They can't just settle it. They got to communicate with the claims examiner, explain what's going on. So when there is a settlement, if you take all of the money and spend it, then OWCP will stop covering your work injury until the money is taken care of.
Yeah.
And that is going to be a serious problem for you. Do not spend the money.
You should wait.
20% of the settlement is going to belong to you by law, at least 20%. Okay. But not all of it. It's not 100% yours. It's not fair, but we're talking OWCP. That's the way it goes. But it gets a lot less fair if you don't follow the rules, because now you're going to be cut off from treatment. And we have somebody right now this is happening to.
Yeah, we do.
And fortunately, it doesn't happen often, but it's important that you understand. First of all, don't use a PI lawyer. Pick an OWCP lawyer, and she's going to post Carlos and Eric's contact information here. And that's the only way I can guarantee you will not get screwed. And that's a rule. We don't want to get screwed. Okay. It's the only way I can guarantee that you won't get screwed in an OWCP third party accident is if you contact the right lawyers. And disclaimer, we get nothing
Yeah.
off telling you to call Carlos and Eric.
Somebody said that to me the other day when I gave them the list. I copied and pasted the list and was like, "How much money do you get out of this?"
Zero.
And I'm like, "Nothing."
We literally get nothing. We get zero. We are here to solve your problems and make your life easier. It's why we do the
Yeah.
training. It's why we have the doctors, and it's why we know great lawyers. And then someone else said, "But gosh, every time you send me to a lawyer, all they want is money."
Oh yeah, that was funny.
This is also important. Federal lawyers are not legally able to take a percentage of your settlement. They're not able to do that. It's against the law. And they don't work for free either. They're lawyers. They stuff they do is expensive. So they have to charge you. But the ones, Eric and Carlos, are as reasonable as it comes, and
Yeah.
fair. And don't be mad at us. You do not have to choose those guys. You don't have to choose anybody. You don't have to pick a lawyer if you don't want.
But please get a federal attorney.
Yeah, yeah. And you can
Don't go to
just
the
Google
big
it.
names around town just because they say they know how to do it. Because I'm telling you, from working with Eric this long that we've known him, what he said to us, you go to the big guys in town, and what happens? They don't know how to get you your money because it's federal. And then they get messed up with OWCP and have no clue how to get out of that and how to fix it. I'm telling you. So,
So the Greenville office said we had a patient who just did that, filed a CA1, hired a local PI attorney. That's a mistake. Had her claim approved, which is awesome because that's what we do. Her attorney gave her 100% of her part, and OWCP cut her benefits off and restricted her from ever claiming those conditions again.
see, that's what happens, guys.
So these are things you're not going to learn if you don't come to Wednesday night chats with Chris and Jeannie. You're not going to learn this stuff. They're not telling it to you.
Yeah.
They just say you need to lawyer up. Well, what the hell does that mean?
And let me tell you, Deborah Hauser. No, I don't think she does third party accidents.
Well,
But
you
she
can
is,
call her.
yeah,
We
but you
love
can call
Deborah.
her. She can refer you to another federal attorney.
Yeah, we love Deborah. She's actually a longtime
Thank you,
friend of
Jason.
mine.
Yeah.
She's a longtime friend of mine. I just don't think she specializes.
Yeah.
In it. If she does, then great.
No, she doesn't, because on that list that I posted, she doesn't do a third party. So no third party.
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you, Jason.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah. So
freaking pit bull.
Again, I'm going to list all these things, but I'm telling you, go back and look at your policy, or even call your insurance or chat with them like one of our sons did today when we had a question for him. Just chat it away with them. Ask them, do I have uninsured or underinsured motorists?
And am I covered if I get hurt driving my personal vehicle
Right.
for work?
I am a rural carrier. I am a letter carrier. I use my own vehicle. What other coverage will I need to get myself covered in case of an emergency if somebody else doesn't have insurance? Okay.
Yep. So let's go through some questions. I know we had a question that I saw twice. I'm going to answer it now.
Victor, I am actually on that comment because I had to go back. So Victor said, Chris, could you explain or say to any USPS temporary employees, if they get hurt on the clock, not to be afraid and for them to file a claim? It's their right. Yes.
Yeah, in my book, the 25 things you can do to win an OWCP, number 25 is forget your supervisor's feelings. Just go file your claim. Let me say this, and you don't have to read these questions when they come around, so pay attention to what I'm about to say. I'll normally answer a question, and then she'll go back and reread it because she's reading questions. Twice it was asked about mileage, round trip mileage.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw it because we got it in front of us here. I can see a lot of these. And it says somebody's asking, has anybody ever been paid more than 100 miles round trip? The rules specifically say that you can be paid up to 100 miles round trip, right? Up to 100 miles. However, it is possible to be paid for more than that if you get prior approval from your claims examiner. It does not get approved often, but when people say, can you? The answer is yes. You can if your claims examiner approves it in advance. Most of the time, you have to make a business decision for yourself. Do I care about the mileage? Or do I care about getting my claim accepted? And I can tell you, and a lot of people here will tell you as well, that the pain of a denied claim is far worse than the pain of driving and not getting paid. Trust me.
Absolutely.
So, but it is a personal decision that you've got to make. I called it a business decision because that's your personal business. So yeah, you can, but you need prior approval from your claim examiner.
Ruby, I'm going to get to that because I still have two more things to cover on third parties. Let me just finish these. Amanda said, yes, there are goats. See, she's a rural carrier.
I saw it. We went all Nat Geo Wild on this one.
he answered it. Dr. Dorfman. Dr.
What's up,
Dorfman
Dave?
representing Melbourne, Florida and Orlando, Florida.
Absolutely killing it over there too.
He said, "Sorry, I'm late to the party. Looks like you're in a warm cabin." That's our feel. That's what we're getting our house renovations.
Late. Gosh,
We are we're renovating our home right now, and it's gonna look like a cabin.
we're working on it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So slip and falls. Slip
There's
and
not more
falls.
questions?
No, it's up to Ruby now. Slip and falls
Oh.
are a third party. Okay. Eric always says you should check with the homeowners insurance.
If it's a slip and fall at somebody's house.
Yes.
If you're delivering mail inside of like a business and you fall in there, that's probably pretty sure they've got insurance,
Yes.
which
So
does happen.
yeah. And if they don't, or they're going to tell you, you're going to have to get an attorney. And yes, you need a federal attorney for that as well.
No matter what, you got to have a federal
Okay.
attorney. And federal attorneys will outsource certain things to local PI attorneys, but that's between your federal attorney and the other attorney they choose for
Right.
you. It's not your problem. Let them handle that.
And the other third party injury, which is it sucks, dog bites.
This one's tough because there's this. I just learned this like last year. There's a one dog bite
There's a one
exception.
free. It sounds so
You
stupid.
get a
but
free
this
dog
is,
bite.
This is exactly the wording. You get one free dog bite. So
I don't think that's everywhere.
no,
Is it
yeah,
everywhere?
that's everywhere.
All 50
In all your
states?
states, you have to check with that state, and maybe you should ask Chat GPT.
I'll ask them later.
Okay, so you get. I know it sucks. Oh yeah, I got my whole leg got bitten off by a dog. I can't do
So go
squat.
out there and get your one dog bite so you can get it out of the way. I mean, what does this even mean?
Unfortunately, it sucks, but you have to check your rules. Yes, you can go after the homeowners insurance. I always say, yeah. All right.
If you
Right?
know who
Yeah.
owns the dog,
Yeah.
then you have a chance.
Okay. And you can definitely file a claim for that. Even the slip and fall, you can file a claim for it no matter what. It'll be a CA1 claim. But if you get bit the second time after it's been reported the first time, number one, I would be deathly scared to go back in that wherever that I was delivering mail. But number two, you don't know if it's going to happen again. Unfortunately, we've seen people where it's happened multiple times. We've seen some horrific pictures of people's faces, their arm,
Their
and
nose.
like the nose. That one was so sad.
Go ahead.
And the back, like the thigh and the calf. So be careful.
But I remember a story from years ago that a woman was running from a pit bull. She was a letter carrier, running from a pit bull and like throwing lawn chairs and stuff, whatever she could find in the way. Went over a fence, and the dog went over the fence after her. And there's like super bad like PTSD after that. But this person also had other physical injuries just besides the dog. So there's so many bad things can happen. But anyways, I don't want to get too far off track, but that was really horrific. These are third party claims if an insurance will cover it, if there's not a, first bite exception, which is so stupid.
Yeah, and we have like several videos. If you click when you come onto our page and you click videos, you can scroll down. There's several videos. Eric must have talked about this already 3 times for this year.
Yeah.
And he's on YouTube, and he's on from 2019 we started getting Eric on. So if you even go all the way down to 2019, you'll see all the videos where he covers in depth about dog bites, about slip and falls, and about third party accidents and all my notes. So I will, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and post all of everything that I just said so you have a copy of it. All right.
So that looks like that's a YouTube message. If you can prove that dog was vicious beforehand, the one bite rule no longer applies. That's why I call animal control every time you see a loose dog. Always report it. That's a great tip. Call animal control and report it. I really like that. Thanks for that tip. That's one of the great things about coming to Wednesday Night Chats is that this is a community of people helping each other, and that's an example of that. So appreciate that, Louis.
Tiffany, yes, when the chats is over, you can call Chris. Let's see. Dr. Dorfman, I'll buy you a snowmaking machine as a housewarming gift. Aw, I want a snowmaking machine in the house. That'll be perfect for my Christmas decor. All right. What questions do you guys have on either third party accidents, or if you're new, what do you do when you get injured for the very first time?
Or anything else like that 100-mile question. That was a good one. I was around from the very first time y'all started this program. I bought your books. I called y'all the Jeff Bezos, aka Amazon of Federal Injury. Not sure if you remember. Hi there, Yvonne. That is
Oh my
awesome.
gosh, how
That's
cute,
so
Jeff
incredible. Thank you for still
Bezos
being here.
of OWCP.
That's amazing. Thanks for still being here.
Yeah, that's so cool. All right.
By the way, that was 2016 when we started.
Yes.
For those of you that are new here, you should know that you're really late to the party. 2016 was a long time ago.
Yeah, and we have all those videos, every single one. What does it mean that you get one dog bite for free? I don't want any dog bites. It means, let's just say you've never had a dog bite in your entire life and you happen to deliver mail and the dog bites you. Unfortunately, you don't get anything for it. That's what he's talking about when he says one free dog bite. This is coming from Eric.
Victor wants to know, which training am I bringing to Orlando? Only the best. Are you kidding me? I'm bringing my A game.
So,
My A game, but we cannot go to Mango's the night before.
so Maria, so if you happen to get bit a second time, then you can get a federal attorney. I mean, go ahead, and if you
Oh
do
no,
get
you're
one
gonna call the
free
lawyer.
dog bite, I would still call an attorney. I definitely would call an attorney, even though he's telling me I get one free dog bite. I'm gonna say that's not happening.
But let me be clear. We're talking about third party, okay? So you
Right.
may not be able to sue, but you still can report your injury and get
Yes.
help. You can still get medical attention for the rest of your life. You just won't necessarily be able to go through third party legal hassles.
Yeah, we know, unfortunately, I mean, I'm not it's not being making fun of anybody. We know a lot of people that have got dog bites, and the pictures that we've seen
They're
in
horrific.
these last 9 years that we've been doing, I think the worst one was the lady's face got bit off. I think it was a pit bull.
It's
She
awful.
has no nose. I mean, like, how horrifying is that? So,
Yes, Friday night, Victor.
all right.
Word.
So
All right.
we covered third party injuries and then how to file your claim. And let's get, because we're going to be coming to an end. October 27th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. we are doing our first national OWCP training live. The new flyer, I know I had a flyer there. I will go out and take those out, but the new flyer is coming out tomorrow. How the flyer will work is, if you want to register from your phone or your computer, you just click register, or you're going to go ahead and scan the QR code. And the QR code is scannable when our doctors are going to print a bunch of them to give it to you or take it to the post office. You can still scan the QR code.
And that's a Sunday from
The Sunday.
from 2 to 5 p.m.,
Yeah.
right? Eastern, 2 to 5 Eastern. Sunday is the only day that most people are off. Not everyone. We understand TSA still got to do their job, and VA nurses are still doing their job, and a number of you are still doing your job. We understand that, but we're just trying to do it at a time where the most amount of people can benefit from this. So it's going to be a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, Sunday afternoon. I mean, 2 to 5 was great. We're not interrupting your late evening.
You can all go to
prepare.
church.
Yeah.
That the first part of the day
Go to
too.
church, and then you still have family dinner.
Yep.
And get ready to go to work. So that's what we're going to be doing. The week of September 23rd, we will be in Orlando.
With APW of Florida. We're
Yeah.
super excited about that. I love going to APW of Florida.
Yeah, and we a shout out to AJ, Angela Johnson, a shout out to
Ian and Rob, what's up?
Joe Paul, the APW state president,
And of course the great Victor Sanchez.
and the great Victor, who doesn't make us miss an APW seminar.
Doesn't let us miss. He never makes us do
us
anything.
Miss.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. And
They're
let's
just
see. What's worse?
No, I said those are just words. What's Kylie saying? My dad's union president said that you've been able to help give advice on difficult cases. I've messaged details on Messenger. If you could let me know what else I could be doing. Thank you. Yeah, Kylie, thank you so much.
Of course. We'll go ahead and look at
Happy
that
to help.
message.
Happy to help.
All right. So again, that's September 23rd. We'll be in Orlando. October 27th, we remember that is the OWCP Chris and Jeannie's National Convention. The very first time we're doing it. No, it will not be recorded to be kept on our platforms.
But it will be on Zoom. I
Yeah.
don't know what the limit to the number of people I can get on Zoom is. So be first, be early, because after that, you'll just be, and this is great. You'll be watching it like you are here. But whoever's on Zoom, we're going to give you an opportunity to actually ask us live questions. And I love that because it'll be like being in a live audience.
Yes, it's going to be so cool.
And so I really like being in a live audience. So it'll be a lot of fun being able to see your faces. I hope you'll turn the cameras on so I can see your smiling, laughing faces because I say some funny things and I tell some really cool stories. And if you've ever heard me talk live, you know that that's true.
Victor, if you have a hangover, if anybody has a hangover, they're still welcome to attend.
Absolutely. You just drink more coffee or hair of the dog, whatever your thing is.
Yes, and then yes, October 10th and 11th, we will be in Greenville, South Carolina for the couple days. We'll be there. Chris will be doing a mini training, and they're doing their patient appreciation. It's going to be, I can't remember the theme. I forgot the theme. It's with those masks, though.
Oh, you mean like Mardi Gras theme?
No, it's not Mardi Gras.
Those are masks.
Yeah, I know. It's something similar to that. I'm sure Wendy will say what it is. But we can't wait to see those of you there. If you're in the Greenville area, doesn't matter what agency you're with, come on by, say hello. Wendy and Dr. Mills and his wife Beth put on a awesome patient appreciation party
Yeah,
every year. It's like, oh my gosh, from outside to inside to upstairs.
we do these in a lot of locations around the country. This is the one that's not like any of the other ones.
No, this one, they go all out.
Yeah.
They go all out. So, masquerade party, that's what it is.
Masquerade.
So, if you're going to Greenville's 10th and 11th patient appreciation, come with your masquerade.
And those of you that don't
Masks.
know, my three favorite places in this country are not necessarily in this order: Las Vegas, Park City, Utah, and New Orleans.
So parts of Utah.
I said Park City.
Oh,
And New Orleans. And so I'm really looking forward to this. I'm gonna get my New Orleans on. I'm gonna get my Mardi Gras on.
let's see what we got here. Robert Delude, yo, yo, yo.
And the great Robbie Rob will be here on the October 27th,
And
helping
James
run the
Lewis.
show, and his partner in crime James. So we're bringing in the big guns to help us that day to make sure
Yeah.
we don't have technical difficulties.
And a shout out to our besties, Jody and Dusty Green.
Are they on here?
Yeah.
What's
she's,
up?
She's on my page. Yeah. What's up, guys? And a special shout out to Chris's goddaughter, Sasha, that's always
Aw.
thinking that Uncle Friss is talking to her when she watches him on our videos. She thinks that he can hear her and she's just chatting away.
Hi, Sasha. Hi,
So-
baby girl.
So, all right, guys. Well, I think that wraps it up.
I do want to say, because I didn't do this last time, so let me not miss it. We have a podcast called the Breaking OWCP Podcast with Chris and Gini. You can find that everywhere you listen to podcasts. Most people go to like Google Play or they go to Apple or Spotify. But wherever you like to listen to podcasts, it's very likely that you're going to find us there. So go check that out. Jeannie and I will be recording more content there. And everything that you hear here ends up there also.
Yes.
Thanks to Robert Delude. He's also our podcast editing dude. He's the podcast dude. And by the way, if you want to start a podcast, just hit up Robert. He knows everything there is to know about it. And yeah, so check out the Breaking OWCP podcast with Chris and Jeannie. You can listen to it when you're driving your route.
Yes.
You can listen to it in your earbuds when you're at work. It's really awesome to be able to have that accessibility, especially if you're on the West Coast. And right now, you're just now getting home, maybe from work. And so you missed the whole show. You can still replay it tomorrow on the podcast.
Yeah. And I want to tell everybody there was like maybe about 50 shares of this post. A very dear friend of ours and his wife, their daughter is missing. And
she's been missing for a while too.
Yeah.
This is scary.
Yeah, it's scary. And I just want to say thank you for being such great union brothers and sisters to him.
Yeah.
And sharing that post. And if you can, share it, and let's help find her. I'm sure they want their daughter home.
Me too.
So thank you guys so much for sharing that. I'll post it again so you guys can share. But other than that, next Wednesday, Chris and I will not be on chats.
We're going to miss you.
Actually flying to Orlando from Los Angeles. I know that sounded weird. We're in Tampa. We're flying to Orlando. But we are flying to LA Where is that? The SoFi?
We're going to SoFi Stadium. Our business coaches have a podcast studio in one of the suites, and I'm so excited. I get to meet my hero in
Yes.
business, a guy named Jay Abraham. Look him up.
If you, I'm sure a lot of people know who he is.
He is the guru in all things of business and marketing. It's incredible, and I love marketing. And I've been listening to and reading his stuff for like 25 years.
Yeah.
And my friend Sean told me that if we just get a ticket to SoFi in LA, that I'm going to spend an afternoon with Jay Abraham.
Yeah. So when he told me, I was like, yes.
It's
So
like
we will be there.
if you're a basketball fan, you get to spend a day with Michael Jordan. That's what this is for me.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
really, really excited about it. So hopefully that'll help me be better at what I do. And then from there, we're going to be flying to Orlando.
Yeah. So we won't be on next Wednesday, but we'll be on the following week. And the flyers again will be posted tomorrow. I will post all of this content that I read to you tonight. And I think that's it. Greenville, thank you so much for all you do, Greenville, South Carolina. I love you all.
Yeah, we love you
Aw,
too.
Thank you.
Very much so.
Yeah. And so we will see everybody in Florida APW in Orlando in 2 more weeks. And we look forward to hanging out and seeing you guys.
Can't hardly wait.
Don't forget, you guys, come to the training that Chris is going to do on the 27th. I think it starts at 10 a.m.
All right. Good night, everybody. We will see you next time. Until then, be safe.
Bye, Instagram.
And replay this if you need to.
Bye, everybody.
Good
Have a
night.
good night.